Drama, bin drama, Arab drama, all a drama. Ay, 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 yeah. Now, before I even start, if you hear noises of rain in the background or water dripping, usijali, napambana na hali yangu. And what I'm determined to do here is to come across to you loud and clear. And as long as I achieve that, just enjoy the background music. Or at the very least, bear with it. Now, I thought, when I made my last video, that we would be given at least 2 weeks breathing space before action starts. But folks, was I mistaken or what? For today's show, we're going to focus on 3 different events, that I believe are linked. And I could be wrong. Yes, I'm a humble man. Although the record, shows that mostly I end up being right. And not because I'm special. No, I'm a very ordinary guy. Maybe because I've been doing this for a long time. And maybe because I try my best to be very thorough. Well, let's get on with it. Number 1, Raila Odinga's chief campaigner in the 2017 presidential elections, a man called Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, has released a new book, a kind of autobiography, titled Soaring Above the Storms of Passion. Musalia, hii timing bwana. The time he has released this autobiography, the timing is crazy. Yes, it'll earn him amazing book sales. But let me come back to that later. Now in this book, Musalia has some very explosive revelations, alleged revelations. He says the main reason why Raila Odinga went into the handshake was because of intense pressure from other world powers, Western powers, including the cancellation of visas, of his visas to visit various countries, plus serious financial wars within ODM. Now, to be honest, that confused me a bit, because here we're talking about an outfit called NASA. So, why were these financial wars mainly on Raila Odinga and not on the entire NASA fraternity? That confused me. Anyway, we'll come back to that in a bit. I'm telling you folks, today's show is red hot. And I guess it should be, because I've been quiet for a few days. Number 2, there seems to be emerging evidence that the BBI principles, the handshake principles, may be grooming a man called Fred Matiangi to run for the presidency in 2022 as their candidate. Now that one we have heard of before, many times. However, there's a difference this time. There seems to be very compelling reasons and indications and evidence that this is actually, or this could actually be the case. And very good reasons. We'll come to that again in a minute. Number 3, a few hours ago, somebody sent me links to 2 videos. Those 2 videos were prophecies, from a respected servant of God. And the prophecies indicated that one William Samoei Ruto will be president of Kenya one day soon. Now, before you start rushing off to write that comment about some honey from Sugoi that I've received, hear me out. Let us reason together. Simple logic. William Samoei Ruto is the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. He is a heartbeat away from the presidency. That is a fact. The truth is, looking at this thing clinically, without emotions, as long as he remains a heartbeat away from the presidency, as long as he remains in play, which last time I checked he still is, then the possibilities of him being president, whether you like him or hate him, are there. That one you have to admit. But again, what interests me are events which are related to these two videos that were sent to me, these two video links, where there seems to be a push, very aggressive push, on behalf of William Samoei Ruto, for the presidency. In other words, his propaganda machine is working at overtime. By the way, one of the links was from a prophecy made in 2018. We're almost at the tail end, or rather we're at the tail end of 2019. And so, what really disturbs me is why the heightened activity. What do these people know that we don't know? What are they expecting? Or what are they planning? And this is happening at around the same time that Musalia Mudavadi has decided finally to release his autobiography, which focuses a lot on the 2017 elections and also focuses a lot on Raila Odinga. And admittedly, it is also happening at a time when more and more Kenyans are wondering what really is the end game for the BBI and the Handshake team, the Handshake principles, because they have an end game that is top secret. That one is becoming clearer by the day. By the way, these Ruto prophecies are very old news to subscribers to the weekly intelligence briefings and Club 1999. Anyway, let us start dealing with these three items one by one. Musalia's book. Musalia claims Raila had been banned from visiting many countries, including a key Western nation, and was extremely worried about what the US was going to do next against him in reaction to the banning by this other key Western nation, not the US. So much so that he sent Musalia to find out from the Americans, specifically the then US ambassador to Kenya, Robert Kodek, whether he was aware of this ban. And Kodek said yes, he was aware. Indeed, Musalia, the chief campaigner, claims that he was also asked to check with a number of other Western missions over the same, which he did. He also reveals how very many people discouraged, very prominent personalities, discouraged Raila Odinga from being sworn in. You remember January 30th, 2018? The day the people's president was sworn in? He also reveals that the whole idea behind the swearing in was to put pressure on the government to come to the negotiation table with opposition, or rather to put pressure on Jubilee and the candidate to come to the negotiation table over the contested 2017 presidential elections. The long and short of what Musalia Mudavadi says, a lot of what he says about the issue of the swearing in and the issue of the handshake, is that they were kept in the dark. There seems to be some bitterness that Raila made key decisions while totally ignoring them. The other NASA principles, that is. It seems that the whole idea behind these revelations is to paint Raila Odinga in poor light, and to portray him as a kind of dictator, who dictated upon the other NASA principles and made decisions on his own. Now. I have a small issue with all that. I don't know whether it's true or not. But taking Musalia by his word, let us assume it is all factually correct. I have a very simple question to ask. If you have a company where one shareholder holds 70% of the shares in that company, And then the other partners, major partners, own 30%. And then this person with 70% takes some decisions without consulting his other partners. Is that even something to write home about? It happens in business all the time. It happens in boardrooms right across the globe all the time. If we're talking about Kalonzo Musyoka being the presidential candidate for NASA, which many believed was supposed to be, then Musalia's revelations would have been alarming, because there's no way Bwana Musyoka, with all due respect to him, would have made any decisions without the backing of at least the largest shareholder in NASA. And that is ODM and Raila Odinga. And I've given you an example from business, from the corporate world. In politics, it is even worse. You hold 70% of the votes, and then the small directors sharing 30% are whining and making noise and complaining, etc., etc. Does that make sense to you? It doesn't to me. I'm sorry. Correct me if I'm wrong. And so, in my view, it is very difficult to imagine that there are no hidden motives behind the timing and the content of this autobiography by Musalia Mudavadi. That's my view. Now on to Fred Matiangi. Now, the Building Bridges Initiative principles promised us that they would bring Kenyans together. Now just think about it for a minute. Would you bring Kenyans together by having a candidate who represents the Kalenjin community? Answer that question. Or the Kikuyu community? Or the Luo community? If you ask me, I don't think so. But if you picked somebody, an outsider, somebody from a small tribe in Kenya, then chances of bringing Kenyans together would be much higher. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not supporting the move. Because if we were to go by the history of major politicians in Kenya, choosing a project, in quotes, choosing a candidate, voters in Kenya have never gone for something like that. Alliances or no alliances, that would be a very hard sell. But if you are a regular of the weekly intelligence briefings and Club 1999, you would know the various reasons that seem to suggest that Raila Odinga may not be on the ballot in 2022. There are various very compelling reasons. There are also various reasons to suggest that top on the mind of both the handshake principles is a legacy. Leaving a much better Kenya behind than the one which they operated in politically. And so far, we have seen that the handshake brothers have been thriving on one political shocker after another. When you put all those facts together, then you cannot do what I have been doing for a very long time, and that is writing off Matiangi as a possible presidential candidate. You cannot afford to. And don't forget, the attacks on Bwana Matiangi by Deputy President William Samoei Ruto and Team Tangatanga have been very persistent and consistent. That, my friends, cannot be without reason. There must be a reason, and a good one at that. Now, I don't want to go into the DP Ruto prophecies, because I've covered that extensively, in the WIB's weekly intelligence briefings and Club 1999. And also, that discussion is highly sensitive. And besides, it is so easy to join WIB and Club 1999. And we've made it even easier today. Apart from the lifetime offer, joining both for life, never having to pay subscription again, for a measly $29.99. Now you can also opt for 1 year subscription to both, at a very, special price, measly amount of Kenya shillings or dollars. And of course, when you'll be doing that, you'll be supporting my work, the research, everything that I do to bring you regular shows on this channel. And I greatly value and honor all those who have already supported this channel in a major way. To me, they're great heroes and heroines of a new Kenya, a better Kenya, which is what we are all fighting for. Not for our sakes, but for the sakes of our children and our great-grandchildren and generations to come. You see, you cannot ignore the current very heated, very unpredictable, and very worrying Kenyan politics if you have children. And if you love your children, what kind of country will you leave behind for them? Think about it. Because it should be very obvious, things will get much worse before they get better. We should all be fighting to get them better sooner, for the sake of those we leave behind one day. Anyway, you can discover about that amazing offer by simply sending a blank email to the email address you see on your screens right now. You'll get an automated response. Nobody's recording your email to bother you later. No. It is a simple email autoresponder. Get that amazing price, take advantage of it if you can't afford lifetime membership, and then get all the details that you've already been missing. Because I'll send you all the 50 videos of Club 1999, sensitive videos, and all the 24 weekly intelligence briefings that you've missed. Very hot stuff, I assure you. And then you'll be right on time, for my weekly intelligence briefings number 25, which I'll release tomorrow, which has some very explosive information. I've given you bits and pieces in this show, but there's a lot of other sensitive stuff that backs up what we have said, including what Musalia said in his book. Surely, you don't want to miss that. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.